I've always known I was adopted. My parents always shared that with me. And I found the adoption records years ago when I was a teenager. So I've always known the name of the family of my mother. During the time I was building the houseboat, I had to go down to Louisiana, New Orleans, for the Katrina. And I met a woman down there. And after all of that was over and our work was done, she came up here to visit her daughter and visit me. And she knew I was adopted. So she asked me to see the letter that my mother left for me. But my mother left a letter that told about her parents, about what they did. They were wheat farmers, that she had 7 siblings, and she's quite computer savvy. And my dear friend Maureen, took the letter. She started searching on the web, and one day I came back to the office and she had the paper cradled in front of her and said, I found your family. Not but I found your family. And so we looked that up, and we started searching for Pearsons in North Dakota. And we found a Pearson up in, I think it's Roy, where they had immigrated to. And it turned out to be, I believe it was a nephew. So I got on the phone and made a call to that man, and I asked him, I asked if he knew the family, 7 children named Pearson, and the oldest might have been, it was a girl, and she may have been born in 1888 or 89. And he said, well, that would be Alma. And I said, well, I believe I'm the daughter of Elma. And he said, oh, this is a big secret. I said, I think it is. He said, well, who's the father? And I said, well, I don't know. So he thought he'd try to get to the bottom of it. So I asked if my mother was still alive, and no, she'd passed on. And I asked if she had other children. She'd had 2 sons. So now I know I have 2 brothers. I got the phone numbers, and shaking in my boots with my girlfriend there, we made a call to my brother. And less than 5 minutes later, immediately I got a call, and the wife, Jenny, and my brother, Gary, were both on the phone. And they seemed to know exactly who I was. And so we talked for an hour, and we had lots of questions, and so that's how we found each other. And it was wonderful. Then we made plans, and I went up to visit them for 2 weeks at Christmas. They met me at the airport. It's the tiniest airport. It was filled with family members waiting to see me, and um, it was magical. All of them. They were so excited, and so was I. And the youngest son, Jerry, I just caught his eye and felt like I'd known him a long, long time. So it was Christmas time, and Jerry, my youngest nephew, he walked up to me, and he had a poem that he'd written. He told me that in October, when my girlfriend first came to visit me in Seattle, he told me, sat down and was writing this. He thought it might be a song, and he didn't know what it was, and he put it in a drawer. And then the weekend I found the family and made my first call, he was out there again the last week in November. He didn't know I had called. And then his father told him about finding me. When he'd seen me at the airport, he knew exactly what was happening. And he went home and got that out. And on Christmas Day, he brought this wonderful poem and read it to all of us. And all of us were in tears. And it's my belief that that poem was channeled by my mother through one of her favorite nephews, Jerry, to bring us all together. The poem's called Come Ride the Waves of My Memory. Since I left you, I have gazed upon the sea, a sea of grass that buoys this memory, its harbored dreams of a circle complete. Do you ever think of me? Come ride the waves of my memories. Let's pass through this gray fog into an open sea, and together we can sail into a sea of memories. Come ride my memories. To a cold and windy plain, a sailor set her course, guided by the wind, unseen, the true wind of her heart. Come ride the waves of my memories. Love can never be moored beside this open sea. Let's set a course for places beyond what we can see. Come ride the waves with me. Is it love that brings together? Is it love that separates? Is the answer to the question found in the hands of fate? Will it ride upon an east wind like an eagle ever soars? Do you ever think of me? Many have set out on love's path, not knowing that love can't set sail with a heart of stone. A heart's journey begins and ends at home. Come back to me where it all began. I will always think of you. So let's ride the waves of our memories. Let dreams and memories become reality. Let love complete this journey upon the open sea, beyond what we can see into eternity. I can never read it without crying.